Alrighty guys, we are back with round 3, and we got Jonathan Rodriguez playing a pretty unique Super Saiyan 3 deck versus Andrew Calderon here playing a Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT. So this is going to be pretty unique. We're going to see a brand new deck in Super Saiyan 3 blue-black control. And Andrew, we've seen it already. Goku GT. We'll see exactly how powerful this is. Alrighty, so we see some pretty unique deck choices for Jonathan here. He's got a Piccolo, Dashback promo, and he's got a Beerus from Tournament of Power, Divine Vanquisher. So we see exactly how powerful and relevant these cards are. Look through his deck a little bit, and it just seems like blue good stuff. It doesn't seem like anything too... I don't know. I felt like it was just like he was trying to play like the best blue cards, but just keep it mono blue, with the exception of like Scientist Fu. I think he was playing. But we'll see here as Andrew resolves a Pint-Sized Warrior Goku. Yeah, Super Saiyan 3. Maybe is the Mecha 2.0. I don't think it's as unbeatable as Mecha was. Mecha was very powerful because it had that Cold Bloodlust backup, which was very, very powerful to get over. But this one doesn't really have anything to back up on. I mean, sure, you get to untap 3 energy and maybe play a Topo, but that's probably the best thing that you do. And is that a Trios of Dangers Bergamo? That is a Trios of Dangers Bergamo. That's crazy. These guys are both 2-0, by the way. So, this is really crazy how we're seeing a Bergamo and a Beerus and a Piccolo here at table 2. So we're going to see exactly what Jonathan's strategy is here, because he is playing some pretty unique cards, and he hasn't really done too much other than just play a bunch of 1-drops. Andrew's going to get in here with a critical, or try to get in here with a critical. Varik TV, there should be 5 rounds, maybe 6. I think there was like 26 players. Alright, let me change the live totals. We'll see exactly what Andrew can do here. Jonathan was able to play that Piccolo and take down a card that determined Super Saiyan, which is really good. Being able to clear that out of the way prevents Andrew from actually going into that triple flash. Are any KO rounds later or Swiss only? Yeah, there's going to be Swiss, and then there should be a top 8 play out if all players decide to play it out. There's always the option for them to just not play it out in top 8. They actually do have to play it out for the trophy, I believe. So I think what they can do is they can like split the prize support and then play for the trophy. I'm not sure. Anyways, Andrew's gonna go for his backup game plan, which is to evolve into the 5-drop for 4 energy, and then use that last energy to evolve into Triple Strike. Super Saiyan 4, Son Goku, and this one's very powerful from the new set. I already went over it, but I'll go over it again. EX evolves for 1 energy, draws you 2 cards on the evolve, and on top of that, if it wasn't enough, it has Deflect, so have fun with those Cold Bloodless, have fun with those Crusher Balls. And, oh yeah, if it's 40k or more, don't worry about those negates, because those can't be activated at all. So, it's pretty much have a blocker or take 3 damage, which is extremely powerful, especially because you have combination attack pan and you have flute. So you have 2 different ways of, well, not 2 different ways, but you have a way of making him very, very strong and unblockable. So Jonathan's going to go ahead and pick that card up before he decides whether to take it or not. Right now, it's not the worst that I can get. I mean, it's Triple Strike, sure, but it's just Triple Strike. He can still negate it, but he's going to choose not to, and he's going to go down to 2 life here, which is pretty risky, but we'll see. Andrew does not choose to attack any further, making Jonathan actually have to charge before awakening and drawing the 2 cards, which is usually what you want to do, because then your opponent has less options to charge, and you're going to see a Tapion? Tapion? You can see a Tapion, I don't know how to pronounce him, but you're going to see that in the energy, and that's pretty unique. I'm actually going to bring it up for you guys. Auto, when you play this card, you may choose up to 2 cards in your life and add them to your hand. If you choose to add 1 or more cards to your hand, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with the energy cost 5 or less and place it on top of a Toner's deck. Wow, that card's actually really good. And Jonathan's going to play a Bergamo here. What? And he's going to attack the Goku and give it its all. It's going to go Kibito Kai, which is unique over Piccolo. He's going to combo off his 15k on board, and he's going to get rid of it. And now Andrew could only attack the Bergamo, but Jonathan's at 2, so it's perfect, because now he has to attack the Bergamo and not the leader, which is really, really cool. The only thing is, I think Bergamo says only your opponent's battle cards have to attack him. So I'm just going to pull that up for you guys really quick. If this card is in rest mode, your opponent's battle cards could only attack this card. Wow, yeah. So Andrew, if he's smart and he reads the card, very important to read the cards, boys and girls, by the way, he can actually attack his leader with the leader card of his own. But we're going to see exactly if he does this. One thing's for certain, that Scientist Fu cannot attack anything but that Bergamo, so we're going to see exactly what Andrew chooses to do. For that 1 energy, he's going to trade in 2 cards and have a 25k double striker on board. Andrew's going to pick up the Bergamo and read it, just like we have, because that's not a card that you see here every day. And props to Jonathan for making it this far with Bergamo in the main board, not even in the sideboard, in the main board. Ladies and gentlemen, that is determination. Thank you, Verdict TV. I really appreciate the comment. Very, very sorry that we don't have additional people to make this stream as good as it should be, but we have a lot of plans in place for regionals to have a dedicated team. We're going to have Dusty. We're going to have a huge stream team. We're going to have transition guy behind the monitor. It's going to be super, super cool, and it's going to be something that you've never seen before. One of the best productions you'll see in your life for Dragon Ball Super, and we're super excited to bring that to you starting at Otakon, July 10th through 12th weekend. That's going to kick off the regional season for Bandai's National Championship happening in November. It's going to be really exciting. We're going to have a lot of cool things planned. We're going to have all the best players from around the world at our event. So make sure you guys catch it. If you can't catch it, it's going to be on this channel live. It's going to be production value like you've never seen in your life. It's going to be fantastic. Super excited for that. Andrew's going to go and attack into this Bergamo, and he's going to throw 15k worth of power here, and Jonathan's auto on Bergamo is going to activate. He's going to go up from 20 to 25 for the rest of the turn, and then he's going to throw a Raging Attacker Son Gohan, which is going to summon itself. So now that's 35 against Andrew's 40. He's just got to throw another 10. He's just deciding on what. He does still have 3 energy up, so we'll see exactly what he chooses to throw here. So we're going to see exactly what happens here. And he defends it. And now, really cool thing is here that the Bergamo is going to stay 25 for the rest of the turn. And if Andrew chooses to decide, if Andrew decides to attack again, which he is, and he's going to have to attack the Bergamo here with the Trunks, and he's going to take the life, and go down. It's going to go down to 4 here. He's going to awaken. He's going to have a Trunks that attacks the Bergamo, and not sure if he chose to combo yet. I don't know if he's still thinking about it, but I hope he knows that that Bergamo is 25, not just 20 anymore. So it's a little bit harder for him to upcharge on that. Oh, it looks like he didn't do anything to it. Okay. It looks like he's just attacking with leader. So he's going to attack with leader, draw a card, boost attack Piccolo. I'm not sure if he's attacking the Bergamo or if he's actually attacking Jonathan's leader. I don't even think he knows he could attack Jonathan's leader, but we'll see exactly what he is actually doing here. Yeah, so he was attacking the leader. Andrew did read the card correctly. He did send his leader towards Jonathan's leader to try to drop him to 1. Jonathan was not having any of that. He was able to defend, and now the turn is on Jonathan with 2 life, going up to 6 energy here. That's very, very, well, actually going up to 5 energy here. That's very powerful because he can actually just play a Beerus here. And he's not going to. He's going to play a Piccolo, destroy the Trunks, and try to attack. And good thing about this Piccolo, it is a 20k critical, so really, really good. But Andrew's super combos will be able to easily deflect that. And Jonathan's going to go in with his Bergamo, and that's also going to get deflected by another super combo. Jonathan's then going to attack with his leader, draw a card, and see what Andrew has. He's going to throw a Saiyan Kaba to the bin, and he's going to choose to not attack with the Raging Spirit Son Gohan, which I think is fine. I think that's the correct play. The only thing I think Jonathan messed up there is on, in my opinion, was just attacking. He should have attacked with the Super Saiyan 3 leader first, because that does allow you to see another card, and it actually lets you plan out your turn better. Maybe he drew the Beerus. Maybe he drew the Beerus, and he could have just played the Beerus instead of the Piccolo, because I think the Beerus over the Piccolo in that scenario would have just been so much better. Not only does it net him cards, but it also nets him a double striker, 25k body, which is actually a lot better than Piccolo's 20k body on a critical ability, because that is easily rebounded by a 10k. So that 25k not only puts more pressure, but it's a bigger body. It puts more pressure on Andrew to actually, like, he can't get rid of it by attacking. He has to play a card that has an ability to remove a card on board, like a Dimensional Breaker Fu or something like that, or a Mass Saiyan to get rid of the Beerus. And then because the Bergamo is just holding down the fort, he's actually making all of Jonathan's battle cards immune. So that's what I think has gotten Jonathan so far. But he did not have the Beerus maybe, or just chose to go with the Piccolo. I feel like he just didn't have the Beerus. And if you don't have the Beerus in a scenario like that, I think the proper move would be to attack and dig, because if you attack with your leader and you dig for one more card, who knows? You know, it could be that Beerus, 100%. Marcel Russell is not in attendance, unfortunately. He is about like a 6-hour drive away, so when he comes down here, it's actually something really, really special, and we really appreciate him making the trek down. But I respect his decision not to come this time. I'm sure he has many things in life happening right now, and we do miss him. We do miss him. He should be moving down to Miami with us soon. So that's going to be exciting, because you're going to see a lot more of him. Eddie, same thing. I mean, he's only like 3 or 4 hours away, but wasn't able to make it out. We'll see what Andrew decides to do with his turn here. Jonathan's at 2. He doesn't have any blockers. He does have 4 energy up and a 10k that he could potentially off on board. So we're going to see exactly if he has enough to live through this turn, because if Andrew throws a really, really meaty guy down, then it's probably going to be really, really hard for Jonathan to actually survive this turn, especially if there's a Victorious Fist going down for Andrew. And we'll see if he's actually just playing that, because we do see a Zeno in Andrew's energy, so he should be playing Chain Attack Trunks as well. What's really cool is that because Andrew's playing the 1-drop GT Trunks as well, he can actually play the GT Trunks and then evolve the Chain Attack for 2 energy, and then play the Zeno if he really feels like he needs to. But he's going to go ahead and use that 4 energy to evolve his Goku. He's going to untap an energy, and he's going to go up the ladder with this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and that makes it an actual 4 energy investment regardless, because the 4 energy that you use to evolve into the 1-drop, you actually untap that energy and then you use that energy for the Super Saiyan 4. So that's what's really cool about playing that card. And a Mafuba's gonna come down for Jonathan. Jonathan's playing Mafuba in the main board, and that's gonna put an end to Andrew's plan. It's not only gonna stop the attack, but it's also going to render it useless for about 2 turns. And I'm not sure if Andrew actually attacked Jonathan or if he attacked the Bergamo. Oh, actually, he has to attack the Bergamo. I'm sorry. So, because Andrew actually, a cool little interaction, because Andrew actually attacked the Bergamo and selected it as his attack target, the Bergamo's auto activates no matter what. So even though Jonathan stopped the battle with Mafuba, that Bergamo's auto still activates and goes up to 25k. So that Bergamo's 25k for the rest of the turn, and Andrew's going to go out Jonathan's leader. Jonathan's going to bounce back with a Kabuto Kai of his own. And I think Andrew put that Piccolo back into his hand, just like Kabuto Kai does. I don't think that's optional. That guy's 40k, you can't Mafuba it. Wasn't paying attention. I was not paying attention either. I don't think he got to 40k. It got boosted once by Pan. Yeah, I don't think he had the flute. Yeah, you can see the flute in Andrew's hand there. I don't think he even went for that play. But that is interesting, John. Let me check here. SS4? Is it SS4 or? Yeah, it's SS4. Yeah, your opponent cannot activate counter, so it's not even like a... it doesn't have the same wording as Victory Strike Goku, where Victory Strike can actually get through... cannot get through a Mafuba because it says its effect is the attack cannot be negated. But this Triple Flash is saying that your opponent just can't activate counters at all. So that does include Mafuba. So unfortunately, Mafuba does not stop that if you were able to use that ability of 40k more attack. That's pretty interesting to know. But Jonathan here with a all-in Vegeta, so he's using some of the new U7 cards as well to make his control deck work, and now here comes Scientist Fu down on the board, and he's putting some major pressure on Andrew, but Andrew's doing a good job defending, staying at 4 life. But we'll see if he actually decides to take this Scientist Fu. I think I would here. I mean, I think he has enough to defend, but I think I would take the 2 here. Andrew's plan here too can be, which is actually pretty decent here. If he does have Chain Attack, Trunks, and Zeno, he has Zeno in hand. If he does have Chain Attack Trunks, he can actually just defend his life here and then Zeno the board away. That way Jonathan can get rid of all those cards. He has 2 Piccolos and a Bergamo, which has really been giving him an issue, and Andrew can actually stay with the Mafuba on board, and then at the end of the turn that he finishes Zenoing him, that Mafuba will come off the Triple Strike, and then Andrew will be left with a Leader Swing after the Zeno, which will net him a card, and then he'll still have a Super Saiyan 4 Goku to put pressure on his opponent the next turn. So I think if he knows that interaction with Zeno and Mafuba, I think that would probably be his best case, and I think he's going to go for it here. Yep, he's going to go for the Chain Attack Zeno, Chain Attack into Zeno, and he's going to reset everything before attacking with his leader, which is the correct thing to do. That way he can net a card with his leader without it being affected by Zeno's Shuffle Back ability, and that's going to give him a little bit of an edge here as he resets everything Jonathan's worked so hard to assemble with that Bergamo. And now Jonathan's going to be vulnerable to a lot of these attacks, especially anything that Andrew does this turn, including that leader attack and including that Zeno attack, which can connect here. Jonathan's going to have to pitch one of those cards in hand if he wants to defend himself, and he kind of has to because he's at 2. You don't want to go down to 1 in this scenario, so he's going to pay an energy, draw a card, and use that Determined Goku, which doesn't feel good to throw a 10k to a 15 swing, especially when you could just throw a 5k. But at least Jonathan doesn't lose anything there. He traded a card for another card, Andrew's going to go for the intensifying power Trunks play. He's going to give him critical. He's going to go down to 3. And that's one that Jonathan definitely does not want to take. So we'll see if Jonathan defends, and he will. And then Zeno's going to go in there. I think that's the one that he wants to take. If he does take any of them, that's the one. Because at least he gets to see that card. And he's not going to. He's going to pay another energy because he has another determined Son Goku. And he's just going to pass the turn. Mafuba's going to fall off. Andrew's back online. It looks like game is over if Jonathan cannot win here, because it does seem pretty unwinnable on this point. And Jonathan's going up to 6 energy, though. We'll see what type of spice he has on 6, because we've already seen a lot of spice on 4 and 5, so we'll see exactly how this plays out for him. Bergamo down for Jonathan. So he's going to go with the Bergamo play because it does protect his leader from multiple attacks. It protects himself, more importantly, from that triple strike Goku. He's also going to take down Trunks in the process and then untap another 3 energy. So he's going to go to 4 energy, and Andrew's got to be very wary of Mafuba. He's got to be very wary about Whis Coercions. He can have some number of determined Son Gokus left in hand as well, or in deck. We saw 2 of them last turn. He might have the 3rd and 4th accessible. Kibito Kai's super combos, he needs to know exactly how many are left in his deck. That Bergamo is just putting on a lot of work right now because Andrew really can't deal with it, and he's not going to attack with his leader into it. He's going to attack maybe a Zeno into it, maybe the triple flash, but I think if you're Andrew here, obviously, yeah, you want to go for that first leader attack, and if Jonathan's going to take one, he'll take this one, but you see a Whis Coercion in his hand, so he might feel safe enough to actually just take this damage. But remember that triple flash, triple strike Goku is not going to be able to do anything as long as that Bergamo stays on board, and Andrew has no way of getting rid of that Bergamo again. Alright, we'll see exactly what happens here. Is that another Zeno? Jeez. Yeah, man, that Bergamo putting in so much work. Andrew had to Zeno his opponent twice. And that's pretty bad because Andrew had to actually attack with his leader first and then play the chain attack Zeno, which is not what you want to be doing. You can't flute Zeno? Oh god. Alright, give me 1 sec. That was very, very unfortunate. He did not cheat. Andrew's pretty new to this set. He literally just picked up the cards yesterday and started building a deck. I actually tried fluting back a Scientist Fu yesterday, so I totally feel remorse with him and knowing that flute only does 3 or less. Because when you think about it, flute is just a card that you always put back to 1 drop, so you don't really get in that scenario where you're like, oh yeah, you know, flute can't do that. So it's something that a lot of players are going to learn throughout the weekend. I'm sure he will not be the first or last to find out about that. Probably the first one on stream, for sure. I think that's the first person on stream to actually have that happen. But unfortunately, because Zeno does reset the whole board and shuffle back cards into the deck, that is irreplaceable. Or irreparable, I'm sorry, irreparable. So unfortunately, it had to be a game loss. There was no other way to fixing that. Zeno is one of those things when if you mess it up, it's kind of something that's like, well, how are we supposed to like find out what it was before? So yeah, that was a game loss for Andrew. I'm gonna update the match standing here. Unfortunate way to win, but Super Saiyan 3 Blue Black Control up 1 game against Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT. I think that game could have gone either way, to be honest. It was very tough. It was very grindy. That Bergamo put in a lot of work for Jonathan, and I did not expect Bergamo to. I think that was the last card I'd expect to do anything in this format, but it did a lot of work. It put in a good amount of stuff, and it's just it's unfortunate how that game ended. But you know, now people all over the world know you cannot flute things that are more than 3 cost. That would be very broken, because in the case that I was using it, it was a little bit more broken. I was like trying to attack with the Scientist Fu, and I wanted to like flute it back for like next turn, and then they caught it. Thankfully, we were just playtesting, but caught it, and we were like, oh, okay. So now I know forever in my mind. Thankfully, it happened to me on playtesting, because that could have easily just happened to me on stream. But before I play any type of like big events, I make sure to like test the cards, and I get all like the little mistakes out of the way, which I'm sure like everybody does for the first time that they play, you know, a certain card or play with a new set or whatever the case is. You know, like there's a lot of things that people learn as they go. Like a lot of people to this day still don't know about negating and then autos. Like if they think that if they negate an attack, they don't have the ability to activate the auto. So it's pretty, you know, there's some things that are pretty obvious, and then there's some things that aren't too obvious, you know, like sometimes you just have to read the card. So that was unfortunate, but Andrew's down game 1 now. Is it a game loss for Andrew now, who's giving the deck their names AE Blue Black Control, the player himself? Yeah, Jonathan was telling me that it's just Super Saiyan 3 Control, so I figured I'd make it a little bit more unique and call it Blue Black Control, because those are the colors that he's playing. But when I asked him, like, what is this? I even had to look through his deck, and I'm like, what is this? What do you want me to call this? Because this isn't really a deck that I've ever seen or heard of. So, and I was looking for, like, that WoW card in his deck, and he doesn't really have one. Like, even control decks like U7 have that card that are just like, wow. You know, the Victory Strike is like, wow. You know, the Goku, the 8-drop Goku is like, wow. You know, but Jonathan's is unique because it doesn't have that card. It has Beerus, and it has, you know, Beerus is as wow as it gets. But I can see how the Beerus Bergamo setup can be really devastating, because normally Beerus is like, whatever, Beerus, I'll take the net, you know, I'll take the effect or the auto of, you know, losing a few cards once, and then I'll just kill it next turn. But what the Bergamo does is that it makes it not be able to leave the field. Like, your opponent has to literally use their leader card to attack the Beerus, and then minimum commit a super combo, which is just like ridiculous. But we'll see exactly what Andrew has to stop that. I mean, I'm assuming Dimension Banisher Fu will definitely be going in for Andrew if it wasn't already in, because that's a card that a lot of people are playing now and can easily just stop the whole Bergamo lock. which is, you know, what Jonathan used that game to just stay alive, because that Super Saiyan 3 was not able to connect. None of the battle cards were able to connect. Not even like the one drop, you know, the one drop Critical Trunks, the one drop Kaba. None of those cards that you normally attack the leader with were able to connect or do anything. So that makes it like so much more competitive and so much more like just devastating, you know. Yeah, shout out to Jonathan for making something so unique. Wow, he's even playing Beerus. He's playing Beerus. He's playing Piccolo. He's playing everything. Oof. And that Dimension Breaker, yeah, just like we were talking about. That Fu making its way into the main board for Andrew, and that's going to be a big player if you really want to get, if he really wants to get through Jonathan's Bergamo. You could even call this a Super Saiyan Blue God control, because he's playing the Gowasu, which is really cool. And Gowasu hits like everything, almost everything in his deck. The only thing I'm just like I'm kind of confused about is him playing Kibito Kai. Keep in mind, Jonathan's like a brand new player, by the way, like brand new player. Kyle Dorman's been playing for a little bit. I mean, he's brand new to this format, but last time Andrew played was like Orlando Regionals last year, I think. So he just recently got back into it. Alright, so Andrew off to a pretty decent start. Despite hitting that black energy, he was able to land a Kaba, a Trunks, and a Goku GT. We'll see if that actually means anything to Jonathan, though. Jonathan did not start off with many one drops, and he does play a good amount of one drops. Focus Mind Piccolo down for Jonathan, and that's good. That card's a barrier blocker and is going to be able to help him survive through a triple strike if Andrew is able to land one, until at least Jonathan can find his Bergamo. And if he does find his Bergamo, then he has two ways of stopping his opponent. One from the Bergamo, and then if the opponent gets rid of the Bergamo, then he has the Piccolo to still deal with. The good thing about the Piccolo is that it does have barrier, so Andrew will not be able to target it with the Dimensional Breaker Fu, and it'll be able to block. But Jonathan here snap blocking the SS3 Goku. Andrew here is going to throw 10k into it. And the good thing is here that because the Piccolo, well, actually, I think the Piccolo only gains 5k. I think the Piccolo only gains 5k if you have 4 more energy, I believe. During your opponent's turn if you have 4 more energy. Yep. So Jonathan had to throw an extra 5k, which feels really bad there, but he can't lose that Piccolo there. Andrew still has, I think Andrew still has the opportunity to go into the combo here. He just needs the 5-drop GT Goku, the triple flash, a pan, and a flute. So Andrew needs to have 4 cards here, and Jonathan could be in some serious trouble. Andrew can technically win here because Andrew can attack with Kaba, net a card, hit his opponent for 2, and then go into triple flash, and then kill him with unblockable if he has the flute, but he's going to go ahead and chain attack. Oh, does not chain attack. Yeah, Jonathan was ready to scoop up his cards there, so that's pretty good that he did not, because that would have been another game loss. Let's see. Oh, the card that Andrew played instead of the Zeno, which we were all like expecting, is Shun Shun. That card is from Crossworlds. Pretty powerful card because it is a 3-drop and it has blocker, and you can mill yourself for 2, which is good because Andrew's playing the Foo package. And when it's attacked, if your opponent's leader card is red or blue, which everybody's playing SS3 now, so expect to see a lot more of this card because, like, imagine that card like in the mirror. Insane. Oh, and Bergamo on top of that. Like, all these blockers and all these cards that are deferring attacks from your leader are just becoming so much more powerful. And you can see that as more and more powerful, like, standalone cards like Super Saiyan 3, like the Super Saiyan 4 Triple Flash come up. And they're just like very, very powerful cards that you can't deal with, and they have deflect, and they can't be countered, and blah, blah, blah. That's where blockers become nice and powerful. With the Shun Shun, this card gains plus 15k for the rest of the turn, for the duration of the turn. So, yeah, sure, I'll block it. Sure, it's tapped. You want to attack it again? It's a 30k for the rest of the turn. So have a lot of fun trying to get through that, because that is very, very powerful wall to break. And Andrew here showing the power of that card and the versatility of Chain Attack Trunks, being able to bring out not only Zeno, but it can bring out very powerful blockers like this one right here. And using your 4 energy to summon 7 energy worth of cards, or 8 energy worth of cards, or 9 energy worth of cards is very, very powerful. Finally, Andrew with that Dimension Breaker Foo, and that's going to get rid of that Bergamo. And wow, that's super powerful. That's exactly what Andrew wanted to see here. And that Majin also makes that, I think that Majin also got Andrew from 3 cards to the yard to 5 cards in the yard. So it put in a lot of work so far. Let's see exactly. Ooh, Jonathan decides to take one here. Down to 3. We're going to see if Andrew can find another GT card here with his Pine Size. He's going to find the Unbreakable. Very good card. Set 4, let's go, boys. Yeah, that's right, Paul. Set 4, super exciting. Very cool cards, very cool strategies. Out of all the strategies, I did not expect a Super Saiyan 3 blue control. Blue-black control. We're going to see a Mufuba down here for the Chain Attack Trunks, which is pretty unique. I mean, that Chain Attack is a problem. A lot of people don't realize that that card actually just... That card just destroys blockers. Man, 2 boxes, 2 SPRs. Must be nice. That's great. We actually opened the SPR and like our 1 box, well, 2 boxes that we filmed. Peter Katani opened one, and then I opened one on stream. It was pretty cool. So we kind of are on the same level, I guess. But yeah, as I was saying, chain attack Trunks being able to attack blockers, man, that's good. Yeah, Katani's savage. Andrew choosing to attack here, going to, what is that, 3 life? Going to 3 life. Attacking with Kaba, going down to 2 life. Is that game? Yep, that was game. Jonathan scooped it up. And it is now 1-1. The score is tied. We'll see exactly how game 3 goes. That's pretty close. If you guys have any questions in the chat, please make sure to leave it down below. We'll try to get to it as best as possible. We have a little bit of time in between these two shuffle ups. We'll see what both of them go to the side deck for. Thoughts on Kibito? I don't know how I feel about it. Well, the good thing about Kibito is you can actually play it above 5 life, I believe. Just gonna bring it up so I don't look stupid here. Kibito Kai, when you combo with this card, if your leader card is blue and your life is at 4 or less, this gains plus 10k combo for the duration of the turn. So, because it says that line and then it's a period, the plus 10k power will only be if you have the requirements, which is life at 4 or less. Now, there's a separate sentence that says, then choose up to 1 card in your opponent's combo area and return it to their owner's hand. That happens regardless. It doesn't matter if you're at 10 life, 8 life, 3 life, 6 life, whatever. So you're always going to return that card back to their hand. And if there's no cards in your opponent's combo area, draw a card. So that's going to happen regardless as well. So it doesn't matter what life you're at. You're always drawing that card if your opponent's combo area is empty. And you're always bouncing back a combo card from your opponent's combo area. And that's mandatory. So, good thing about Kibito Kai is that it does not have that life restriction like many other super combos do. Almost every other super combo does. So, it's something that can just give you an edge. Because a lot of people don't think that sometimes. They don't just think about it. It's also a god, so it's the same character trait as Piccolo, which is relevant because Jonathan's playing Kawasu. So he doesn't really lose anything from those 2 super combos. Only bad thing about this is that if your opponent knows that you have Kibito Kai on the offensive, if they're on the offensive, they just combo 2 cards and you're out of a super combo for that turn because you're not gonna put back the opponent can attack and double super combo, and then what do you do at that point? Play Kibito Kai, give him back a super combo, and then you don't draw a card? That's extremely bad. So that's a really bad scenario that can happen. Just by comboing 2 cards, your opponent's combo area will never be empty because you could only bounce back 1 card unless you have double Kibito Kai. And even if you have double Kibito Kai against double super combo, then that looks like a super lose-lose scenario. But yeah, so it's got its pros, it's got its cons, but it's still something that I don't think is a significantly worse option. I don't think it's strictly worse. I don't think Bandai has done something like that where you're just oh, well, there's no reason for the super combo because this super combo exists, Andrew's gonna activate his oh, he's gonna get double red, so that's good. Andrew gets double red, which is much better than last game where he got a red and a black. And much better than a blue and a black, because that happens a lot, especially because you're playing Piccolo. But Andrew's gonna go double Trunks here and go down to 4. immediately, and that looks pretty bad for Jonathan. He's going to go down to 5, and that's a card that he did not see. And Jonathan's going to go down to 5. No less than that. He's going to play a Tapion, and Tapion's going to go and send the Trunks back to the top of Andrew's deck, and he's just going to take 1 life here. So he's going to be able to awaken. Really good card Tapion is. I mean, it's also very good too, because if you do use it to awaken, which you like 90% of the time you will, because it's just a 1-card awaken if you're at 6 life, you know, which you're always going to be at 6 life because Super Saiyan 3, right? Then not only does it get it back, it forces a little bit of tempo on your opponent's side. It takes away their draw step, and because you're awakened now, surprise, surprise, you untap 2 energy. So it doesn't seem bad. It actually seems really, really good. I just think 3 energy is a little bit too much, but yeah, always legit. Yeah, you can swap the Bardock. You can pretty much put the Bardock back in your hand and just fail to summon anything. Jonathan's going to put the pressure on here, and Andrew's going to go down to 3 here, top decking your Trunks, which is it's pretty. It's not that good. I mean, I think I would have defended that so that. I think if I was Andrew, I would have defended that attack so I could just play the Trunks and then take a life that way. But Andrew's going to go with taking the attack to not lose a card, and then using the Trunks that he just drew and put it in energy. And Jonathan's under a little bit of pressure here with that Topo. Topo's going to go after the Gohan, and he's going to restand it after throwing a super combo. Jonathan's like, well, you earned it. You worked really hard for that, so I'm going to give it to you. And that Topo is going to be like, I'm hungry, feed me more battle cards. And he's going to go after another battle card and restand again for the 3rd attack. Topo coming in for the triple attack. And Jonathan's going to be like, that's enough. That is quite enough. And, man, Andrew just getting out-battled here in this combo. That Topo's just putting in all the work. And after baiting out that Raging Attacker, he's going to go after it with a Leader Swing. And that's just going to be netting Andrew so much advantage in this battle phase. Jeez. And then a Pint Size and net him 1 more card. Man, I think those were the worst things that could have happened in 1 turn. Looking really, really bad for Jonathan. I will see what Jonathan can do here. That was a pretty big turn by Andrew right there. Wait, is Andrew dead? I mean, done? Yeah. Jonathan's going to charge that Mighty Mafuba. Which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, because that Mafuba would 100% be live, because obviously SS3 untaps 2 energy, so that Mafuba would have worked anyways, but he chooses not to, and Jonathan's going to come down with a Massane here. Massane's going to get rid of Pint Size and a Topo. That Topo is finally going to go away after inflicting that slaughter last turn, and Andrew's going to be able to easily bounce that back with an Unbreakable. Jonathan's going to go with the SS3 on SS3 action. No combos, a Topo from Andrew. Topo being a very big nuisance in this match. Especially this game, actually. Alright, Jonathan's going to Sensu Bean to start off the turn here. That's going to make Andrew's attacks much less appealing, because now he has to uptrade. Except in this case, because the Topo's 20k here, so. Ooh. Andrew with the chain attack, Shun Shun, and that's not what you want to see in Jonathan's side. The chain attack's going to take out that Raging Spirit. Alright, Jonathan's going to combat the turn here with a Piccolo, and the Piccolo is going to take out that annoying Shun Shun blocker. And Piccolo's going to go and try to take out Topo or Chain Attack Trunks. Jonathan really has to reevaluate here. What is more of a nuisance? Yeah, Shun Shun is the gain 15k blocker, correct. Piccolo's going to come in, critical 20k, but it's attacking a battle card, so. Yep, Andrew's just going to throw away the Trunks. Jonathan's going to look at the top with a Gowasu. He's going to miss. Oh, man. Jonathan out of energy. Just going to pass and stand 3 energy here. Still have 4 life. That's a good part. Bad part is Andrew has a Topo and a Chain Attack Trunks and a Leader Swing. So he's got a lot of stuff that he can do. Yes, Paul, Bergamo was actually a huge player. Both games 1 and 2. It kept Jonathan alive for the majority of game 1. Game 2 is pretty powerful too, but Andrew had the Banisher Fu to get rid of it. But Bergamo was putting in all the work game 1. Andrew actually had no out in his main deck because he side decks to Fu, which a lot of decks do, but it was just insane. It was just so like oppressive, especially against a deck that invests so much into a big battle card. Because Bergamo forces battle cards to attack him, he didn't have many answers to it. He was only able his leader was only able to attack Jonathan's leader, and that wasn't enough. No, he just plays Bergamo. Bergamo's good because it protects his like Beerus and whatever else he wants to protect. That game it was protecting 2 Piccolos. That the 2 Piccolos kept hitting Andrew for critical. Alright, these guys are in time now, but they have a 10-minute extension, so they got another 10 minutes until they're actually in real time. Just gonna make sure that they know. Alrighty, so they definitely know it is time, and we're going down the home stretch here. And let's update some life totals. We got Jonathan down to 2, which is pretty dangerous because he does not have a Bergamo out. So Andrew can easily take him down here with that Super Saiyan 3. Looks like it is still Andrew's turn. I think he's at 2. Alright, so triple flash here. Gonna go up to 40k now. Oh, because, alright, he's pointing at the bottom Goku because he must have used the ability plus 5k, and then it becomes 35. So it's 35, so it can Jonathan can still block negate here, I believe. I was gone for a little bit, but I don't think he had another way of boosting it, and then Andrew wanting to go put it up to 45. And Jonathan here at 25, who won't draw with the Kibito Kai, but will put back one of those combo pieces. So now the triple flash will be at 35, 45, 45, and yet Jonathan has enough to block there at 50. Alright, Jonathan survives the big turn, and now it is Jonathan's turn to take down the game from Andrew. And I think Andrew's at 2 life. He might be at 3. But I'm just going to assume 2. It's really hard to see in that angle. But Jonathan's going to go and attack with his leader first. A lot of these decks not playing yellow, so now we're going back to a format where you could attack with leaders first. So very important to note. Jonathan is going to go after Andrew's creatures, though, and I don't know if that's the correct play here. I mean, that bears in mind that Andrew's really at 3. Ooh, a Beerus is going to take down the mighty triple striker. And Beerus is actually going to go in for what might be lethal, but even if it's not, Andrew's negating here. And a Scientist Fu down for Jonathan. That's 25k double strike. I could only imagine that this is for game. Jonathan's going to go super combo, super combo. What else you got? 5k, 5k. So that's 25, 35, 45, 55 damage to Andrew. Is that lethal? I would believe so. 55. 25, 35, 45, 55. Yep, it's 55, Jonathan. You're right. Andrew, do you have the combo pieces? Oh, and he doesn't! Jonathan takes it! Jonathan takes it with a huge Scientist Fu. And he wins 2-1. Wow. What? That was incredible. Wow, what a game. Great job. Man, that was awesome. So Jonathan takes it with his Super Saiyan 3 blue-black control, and he's sitting at 4-0, I think, because I think this is round 4. So sitting at 4-0, Jonathan is table 2, taking a win over Pro Tour competitor and Grand Prix Las Vegas champion Andrew Calderon. Very great games from both of them. All right, we're going to see if this, it looks like this Super Saiyan 3 blue-black control might even make it to top 8. It should be. So we'll see exactly what he has to face off in top 8. And this is a guy that just started playing, by the way. Jonathan just started playing the game, just picked it up. I don't know if he quit Yu-Gi-Oh, but he was a Yu-Gi-Oh player. He was here every Wednesday and Friday playing Yu-Gi-Oh. He saw some guys like Kamal Crooks playing. He saw some guys like Travis Smith playing. Big names in Yu-Gi-Oh. He saw them playing Dragon Ball. He's like, man, I should really try it. And he just fell in love. So, huge shout out to him. He took down a huge competitive card game player. Granted, Andrew, this is not his main deck or main game. But to take a win off of a very competitive card game player, whether this be their main game or not, you got to give some type of props. So, shout out to him playing an innovative Super Saiyan 3 deck. Can't wait to see more of it. When we post the deck list, remember, be a part of that $5 Patreon. It's only $5 a month. You get access to the Discord, access to these special deck lists. You get to talk with the pros on our Discord channel. We give a lot of nice information to those guys too. And we have some exclusive posts on Patreon too that you can only see if you're in the $10 plus tier, $5 plus tier, etc., etc. There's even a $40 tier that you can look at. You can get a loot box, so you get some product out of it. You get at least like $30, $40 worth of product on that tier, and then you get everything from the bottom tiers too. So definitely check it out for those of you who don't know about the Patreon or don't know what to expect. Check it out. I'll put the link in the chat, so those of you who are interested, you can actually just like look at it and see if it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's just about what tier that you want. We are sold out of the premium tier, so unfortunately you cannot pay that $200 a month to get one-on-one personal coaching with all our pros for about like 8 hours a week. But there is still some awesome tiers still available, so if you guys want to hop on that, we only have limited of each one because we wanted to see how Patreon would work out. We didn't want to spread ourselves too thin. We want to make sure that we can dedicate in each time to each different Patreon, make sure that they get enough of what they paid for. So thank you guys again for watching the stream. We're going to be back with round 5 very fast. I think these were the last matches, so we should be back very, very soon. Thank you guys again for watching. We'll be right back with round 5 of the action.